We are live. At least that's the theory. Yes, we're good on YouTube. We're good on Twitch. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Day 4, live streaming building Road Trip Ninja with Claude Code. I'm dying to use the Gemini CLI, but I'm going to see this through. I'm going to do a little bit of testing on my own with Gemini CLI to see if that's better or worse or what it is. So I'll probably post a video on what some of my research is there, but I'm going to try and do this all with Claude Code and see how that goes. I want to give it a fair shake. So I don't want to abandon ship or anything too quickly after like 3 days. So I don't want to do that. But there's some interesting tools. I'm also really excited about Warp 2.0. That's another thing that is intriguing. I like the concept of a terminal, an IDE, and an agent all in one. Also, it's made to be agentic, which is nice. So I'll probably try that next, but we'll get there. One thing at a time. Okay, welcome to the stream. What we are doing right out of the gate, we are at the point where we need to have some automated unit testing built in. So I've asked Claude to go figure out, build me a strategy for the web app and for the API. We are building a web app just to get things started. We do expect that a bulk of the usage will come from a mobile app. We'll build that later. So key is having an API that can be consumed either by the web app or the mobile app. And it's starting to get just beefy enough to where it's time for unit tests. So here we are. A couple things, a couple key notes that I asked Claude. A couple of key things that I asked Claude to do is I don't need 100% coverage. Also, we don't need to test code that's a part of a package. So if it's Drizzle or something else, we don't need that. We only need to test the unique logic that is our special sauce. So that's what it's doing. That's where we're at. Let's see how our boy Claude's doing. Okay. V-test. Yep, I'm down with that. Okay. I don't care about numbers. I don't know what the numbers is. Okay. What layers of our app will get tests? All layers? What about components? That is the type of strategy I am looking for. We will need to update your memory with our approach so that as we add more code, we are testing consistently. Yeah, so normally my assumption and what I'm thinking is we'll test the components, we'll test the pages themselves, and the service layer for sure. I don't know that the queries or anything really need to get tested or not. So we'll see what our boy Claude comes back with. So normally I'd like to allocate tests for a specific layer. So we just know like, hey, the queries, we don't need to test the query logic. We don't need to test Drizzle. So we'll see. All right, here we go. So this is what it's got. Services. Okay, makes sense. API. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't done reading. Database calls. Yep. Tested services. Yes. Components. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Always test Okay. Never test database queries. Good. Like that. Configuration. Check. Good. When adding new code. I like it. I feel good about that. Claude, we are off to a good start today. Keep it up, bro. Yeah. I think that's going to be one of our Twitch emojis. We're going to have a bro and whatever the Claude logo is. So that'll be a, let me add that to my to-do. Let me get that done real quick. All right. Content. Bro, Claude, emoji. Okay. All right, we're good there. All right, so we have that. Great. Okay. So now we have documentation. Let's make that happen. We're going to ask them to put this plan into action. So this will take a while, without a doubt. Yeah, so buckle up. It's going to be a little while. See, this is where that agentic approach that Warp 2.0 has that's interesting. So the plan would be we tell this, okay, go do this thing. And it just runs on its own over here, tells us when it's done, tests itself along the way. It's intriguing. So we'll see how long I can hold off on that. We'll see how long I can not allow myself to try that. I don't know. I'm worried, my friends. All right, so we are installing all of the test packages that'll be required for us to do that. So all the npm updates and stuff. I'm also going to, I've been keeping a long list of all the things I want to add in my app Todoist, which is where I keep, that's just kind of how I keep track of things. Okay, we're updating. Okay, the new config file. Good. Okay. What I want to do is I just want to start tracking all of that in. I'll create a project in Road Trip Ninja that'll manage that. So we'll do that while this is happening. Oh, wait. Yep, go ahead. Oh boy, project templates. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Start from scratch. Board. Yeah, I don't need a lot here. Yes, we'll just start with this. Build a product with me. So we'll just use this board to manage all of the things that we're going to build. Perfect. That's all we need. We don't need anything more than that. Okay. Keep Claude rolling here. I want to make sure we run the test as a part of that Husky pre-commit hook. So I have to make sure that all gets taken care of. Because that'll be important. Also, something I did behind the scenes, but worth talking about, is I prefer to deploy everything to Railway. It's a nice. Okay, we're not gonna check. You do your thing. It is a nice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's right. There were two. My bad. Yeah, it's a nice mechanism for easily deploying and managing deployments. You can have different environments. It's wonderful. There's PR environments, which one of my favorite things in the universe. So whenever I create a PR inside of GitHub, it detects that, spins up another version of this environment with just that code for that branch, allows you to run tests just based on that branch. Once that is merged in, that environment gets destroyed. So a lot of times I've been with large teams where we have like a handful of environments. Maybe there's an environment that a team has that's their own, that they are managing the latest for all their PRs or whatever it is. But these PR environments are just magical because every little PR that you put out there gets its own environment. It spins up when you need it and it spins down when it's done. You can do your testing. It's isolated. It's exactly what's needed. So Railway, I'm a big fan of you guys. If you want to sponsor the channel, cool. I'll be ready. They're not sponsoring yet. Maybe they will be someday. But yeah, so I got the app up and running up at app.roadtripninja.com. The database is installed, but there is no seed data or anything. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't really work, but we can at least go there and see the thing. So you have actual awareness that, hey, look, it's there. So deployed and all of that fun stuff, but I haven't connected all the dots. That was one of those things where I wanted to do the basics of getting it ready, and then we can go through connecting the dots and getting all the deployments working magically and all the data migrations and everything that goes along with that. So I wanted to make sure I save that for on stream. But we got the basics set up. We have an environment. We connected it to GitHub, so it'll detect changes and everything that goes along with that. So we're good there. How do you feel about that tests folder? I don't hate it. I don't love it. A lot of other times it's just like file.tests.something. So this sequesters it off in a different spot. It's fine with me. I don't love it, but I don't have a good enough reason to argue against Claude and say, hey, I'm not a fan of what you're doing, so we'll just let him roll. We'll let him do his thing. It's fine with me. You know what? Because I'm not going to be maintaining the tests. That's your problem, Claude. So I continue to see post after post after post of people talking about the magic that happens through all these AI tools. The reality is all these tools get you 80% of the way there to having a real production grade app. Yes, you'll have an app. Yes, it will deploy. Yes, it will run. But true production grade, there's still about 20% missing. And that 20%, I hate to break it to you, that's going to be 80% of the work. So there's still a fair amount of work that's required to get there. I'm sure these tools will continue to get better, but we're still not there yet. Now we'll figure it out. We'll see if during this process I figure that out. But yeah, Don't think it's magic yet. It's getting close. It's pretty magical, but it's not perfect yet. All right. All right, we're going to do a standard prediction. Will the test pass the first try? Will all tests pass on the first run? Place your bets. Place your bets. If you're not here and you're watching this on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram later, get in here, vote on these things, help us figure this out, help us make this better. You'll learn a little along the way. Get in here. All right, prediction started. 30 seconds. Go. I can't vote, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they don't all pass. Not, and that's not a jab at Claude. That's just good unit tests and all the proper mocking. Not simple. Uh-oh. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. This is just, hey, there's some. Oh. React hooks. Doesn't like React 19? Wait, we had that NPM error. Okay. What are you doing, Claude? What are you doing, bro? You tried to do an NPM install and it failed and you just drove right past it? Come on now. Let me check that. So in our package.json, dev dependencies, yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. Oops. So that was testing library React hooks. Let's check. Hold on. Looks like we had a npm issue on testing. What was that? Testing library React hooks. Do we need to worry about that? Or should we just like, hey, npm package install. Failed. No big deal. We'll just ignore it. Come on, Claude. Okay. No, we don't need it. Okay. All right, there you go. Difference between 18 and 19. Nice job, Claude. You did it. Next time, tell me what you're doing. I'll feel a lot better. I won't have to come in and double check. I won't ask like, hey, why are you doing this? Just be like, hey, this error, Don't worry about it because we're using a React 19. This is the updated approach. That'll save me a few heart palpitations. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Claude wrote all the unit tests. Will it work? First try. You placed your bets. Now's the time to find out. Here we go. See, it even knows. It says, hoping. We'll see what happens. The answer is no. We have some test failures to fix. But really, like I said, like getting tests right isn't simple. I did not expect this, and I cast no aspersions at Claude on this. Shit's hard, man. Okay. Do your thing, Claude. In the meantime, for those of you that are chilling in the stream, MSI is live in Vancouver for you League of Legends fans. All of you cool kids. I don't think it's going to like as any. We should get an ESLint and prettier complaint about that. All right, well, hold on. What was that issue there? Z string transform number converts things like invalid to not a number. Okay. Okay. Still a couple issues. Yeah. See, again, the problem is that our mocks aren't working correctly. As I said, getting mocks right is not simple. So, totally down with Claude stumbling a little bit here. It's just the way it is. But that's okay. All right, so I'll feel a lot better with this. Whoa, because they're hitting initial query parameter validation before. Well, we're not running. So this doesn't seem like it should work because localhost 3000 shouldn't return anything because we shouldn't be running it. Unit tests shouldn't be dependent upon something running. Okay. Oh, that's just, okay. I see what it's doing. Okay. Let's not celebrate too early here, Claude. You checked off that all the tests are passing. Let me npm run test. Okay. We still have failed tests. Come on, Claude. You just told me tests are all green. I run the tests and we got tests failing. Don't tell me you did the job without validating that the job is done. I just ran the tests manually and they are failing. Don't declare victory on a job like this without confirming that all tests are passing. In fact, make sure we run tests as the last step of every change we make. Come on, Claude. I'm tired of you telling me I'm absolutely right when we know I'm right. Anthropic, if there's any change you make, I'm begging you, please stop with you're absolutely right. Build me an array of options in situations like this where it gives you something different. But I'm always absolutely right. Come on. There you go again with your console logs. All right, we're going to let it roll. Here we go. Claude, unleashed. No more asking, is this okay? We set them loose. So close. Okay, good. Think we got it, friends. You might be there. Oh no. Okay, back to the not a number issue. I think we might have done it. Okay. I want to install the GitHub MCP. So let me just ask. Let me install the official GitHub MCP. Oh boy. Ah. All right, I won't do this on stream. I will get all that set up later. Okay, so good news. We added unit tests. Boom, boom. And oh shit. Oh, that's the one thing we want to do. Okay. Update our pre-commit hook to run the unit tests and fail if we have any failing tests. Should be an easy update. You can just put that in the pre-commit file for Husky. If I remember correctly. All right, what are we doing here? Wait, why are we doing this differently from lint staged? So I don't like that we're doing this different. So we have lint staged. All right. No, I want to have all checks for our pre-commit hooks in the same spot using the same approach. We are using lint staged in package.json for ESLint and prettier. Can we use that same approach here? If it's the cleaner approach, then why didn't we do that the first time? Claude, you're acting like you know it. If you know it, then do it the first time. Don't make me say, hey, why are we doing it like this? Don't tell me you know that's the better approach and then don't do it. Come on, Claude. Ooh, how do we have test failing now? Pass the stage file paths as arguments in the test. Whoa, okay, hold on, whoa. Okay, hold on. Test pre-commit. I feel like this is one of those situations where I'm going to say like, hey, is this the cleanest approach? And you'd be like, no, it's not. Let me fix that. Let me ask you again, is this the cleanest? I feel like it should ask itself that. Okay. Let's go with option 1. Good. Now, the problem is, why am I the one asking Claude? Why am I asking you, Claude, if this is the cleanest approach? I need you to think about that. So, we're going to fix that. Test it out here. Doesn't test run go into watch mode? No, it didn't. I ran it over here. Yes, it does. What is that? Doesn't our test run, put v test into a watch mode. I think there is a flag to just run tests. Check the vtest docs to be sure. You're absolutely right. Test run. So maybe I'm right. Should bloop, run, be done. Okay. So we should be good. Nice. Let's proceed. All right, so I can, on my list, I'm going to check off unit tests. Boom. Okay. Okay. Always ask if this is the simplest way to solve this problem when deciding what approach to take. Okay. We have unit tests. That's good. I'm excited. We need to discard this change. Boom. Discard. Push. Boom. Okay, so what will happen? We'll just take a look. So we just push changes. So now if we go over to Railway, Railway should see, oh, hey, there's changes. Why are we not seeing? I was wrong. Are we not? Yes, 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 yes. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just took a little while. Took a minute. Took a minute. Yeah. So it'll detect the change and then it will go through and do all the builds. Once that build's good, it'll effectively do, as you saw, a blue-green deployment. So once that blue is green, it replaces the old one with the new one. And away we go. So there. It's doing its thing. Exciting. So it's, yes, nice to have that. All right. So we are good. Now, two options. Two options. One, I've got some thoughts and ideas around user profiles and things like that. And then also I want to create a location. So create a location or user profile. Let's create a location. All right. Our next mission is to allow users to create a new location in our system. We remember we are a mobile first web application. So let's optimize the UI for that use case. What is the best approach for allowing the user to pick a spot on the map and create a new location record in our app? All right, we're going to hit Shift Tab and we're going to go into plan mode. So that means we're going to figure it out. Once we agree on the approach, then we'll say like, all right, bro, make it happen. But we're not there yet. Okay. Here we go. 3 main approach. Woo, hey. All right. See, I like this approach. This helps me. Map tap plus modal form. modal form. So blah, 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 blah. User taps floating, yep, floating action button, fab. There's creation mode with visual feedback. User taps desired location on map. Modal opens with form pre-filled with coordinates. People don't care about coordinates. So let's see. Coordinates don't mean anything to a parent in a minivan just trying to help others out by adding a location. They will care about address, etc. So what lookups can we do on the address and or the business information from Google that would make it easy for them to verify, yep, that's the McDonald's we are at it. So we'll see if we can get it to work. $0.04 per lookup. Yay. Okay, what do we got on? User taps location, call Google Places that long. Get back. Google Places API. Yeah. So the question is, do I want to eat the 0.004 cents per API call? So to save that, so the cache. So let me ask, what is the caching plan to save on redundant calls to the places API? Do we just store the results? I mean, that's the way to go, right? We need to get the locations right. The last thing we want is duplicates. So yeah, database table. Makes sense. Yeah, and if we need to move it off to Redis later, that's fine. So I'm okay with this approach. Yep. Let's make it happen. Let me get out of plan mode. Boom. Okay. What do we got going on here? Database schema update. Check. Yep. Uh, Backend services. Yes. Yep. Okay. Yes. Estimated development time 2 to 3 days. What the flip? Not 2 to 3 days. That's not happening. Yep. That all makes sense. Better. Mm-hmm. Why did it go back into planning mode? What are you doing, Claude? I'm trying to let you run here, buddy, and you drop back into planning mode. All right, so that should be building us a second migration file. Yep. Yep. Okay. Why is it not coming back? What's it? Oh, it's compacting the conversation. Okay. Yes, run migration. All right, so this will be a good test for our boy Claude to see how he just runs. We'll have to get some sort of Google API key, I'm sure. That's a pain in the ass, though. I'll tell you what. No, we don't do. Come on, man. We never do DB writes reads in the services layer. That is why we have the queries folder. Fix this and update Claude.md so that this never, ever, ever happens again. Never, ever, ever. We have it in there. We have separate layers in your Claude documentation. Just listen to yourself. Come on, man. I know I'm absolutely right. God damn it. More architectural violations. We should not use raw SQL. That is why we have Drizzle. Also, seems like we should be using Zod and Drizzle Zod here. God damn it. Claude, get your shit together, man. I'm a little worried about that. I'm a little worried about if they change their schema. I mean, that would bring a lot of people. So I'm sure they have good. They have to have good versioning about that. Okay, let's look at your queries file now and see if you're doing things right. It's all reasonable. I'll allow it. All right, so if we get to a spot where we have a nice, reasonable UI for adding a location, I feel good. I feel like that's a good Friday stream. All right, what do we got here? Services layer. Okay. So you Google Places API key. Get an API key for Google Places. All right, what are we telling ourselves here? That's reasonable. Create project. Okay, what was happening there? Okay, we ran all the. Did we create tests? We ran tests that existed, but did we need to create any new tests? Oh, there's a new places API. Okay, I need to edit my env.local, but we're going to do that off screen. If you don't mind, my Google Places API key. Make sure that's the right services. Then I need to also update Railway. We'll do that again off screen. Bear with me for a second, please, as I update environment variables. Off screen. Just so we don't have any oopsies and overuses, and now I'm in trouble. So bear with me. Okay. There we have that there. All right, bear with me. Oh my gosh. Sorry, getting my Google Places API key and all that jazz. Okay. All right. Back to business. Oh wait. Oh wait. Let me check a couple things. We're git ignoring env files. Okay. So my env.local isn't going to accidentally end up. Let me just check. Let me just check. Okay. So that's not going to get leaked. All right, good. Good. Okay. Should be all set. All right, Claude, back to you, my friend. All right, we're creating tests. Yes, let's create tests. I thought we weren't testing queries. Isn't that part of our instructions in Claude MD? Okay. I clearly need to figure out how to, with every instruction to Claude, get it to reference the memory that I've created. We keep updating its claude.md file with all the instructions, architectural approach, all of that stuff. Then it just ignores it. So that's clearly mission number one that I've got to figure out before we get back to this. Or I'd love it if you just drop it in the comments and be like, hey, dude, this is what you're doing wrong. Because it's really annoying. All right. Yes. Yes, I will. line right now. Oh, my friends. Gotta make a few pennies. So I would appreciate it if you subscribed on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, so I can buy a new laptop. I think we're gonna add a goal for that. Oh gosh. Let me see. Edit goals. On my quick actions. Can I have a random goal? No, we'll get there. So it seems like a proposed approach for getting Claude to follow these coding rules is you create a separate markdown file called coderules.md. That separate file, coderules.md, appears to be the place where it's going to pay attention to. So there's a little bit more work I have to do there, but that's the thing we got to figure out. So again, we're going to get this. Claude's going to do it right every time. He is, whether he likes it or not. I don't like that. I don't like that we edited one of our classes to make a test pass. It feels sketch. I'm uncomfortable with the approach of changing the place's service to make a test work. Is there any other way we can handle that situation? That situation? See, this is what worries me. If someone's not looking at this, it's going to go down some deep dark holes, and you're going to have some code that's super sketch, and stuff's going to get weird in production once you actually ramp up. Now, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just trying to get a POC out the door, and maintainability and scalability isn't a thing you're worried about. If you're not worried about maintainability and scalability, fine, let it roll. Let Claude do its thing. But if you need it to be a production level app, you got to have some eyes on it. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess. All right, we did it. That's better. This is our places. Look up. Yep. Okay. We're using Zod. Look at that. I didn't have to tell it to use Zod. Way to go. You follow the rules. We are in the services. Places. Look up place. Get cache resolved. If not in cache. Check. Okay, cool. I knew we said that was the plan. But Claude's been having some issues following the plan lately. So we got to keep an eye on it. All right, what are we doing here? Can we use Drizzle's infer insert approach for this? Check their docs. If we can, do we need let's also we'll just start there. What's happening here? Schema should handle that. That long, but they do it. Yeah, correct. Okay, so no, wait. We took the approach of only using lat long at the very last point in the stack, aka the web UI. We wanted to deal with our location object throughout the app, throughout our business logic and server side code, so that we keep things simple and only use lat long when required for the UI or another service. So can we use the schema from the query versus creating a new one? No, if we're creating, no, if from our API layer down, we should only deal with locations, not lat long. Let the service calling us do the conversion. The one area where that might not work is calling the Google Places API. We might not have a choice there, but that is not our code. Okay. I'm going to want to update our Claude memory to make sure that we keep that. Nullish. Most tests are passing. No, we don't have all tests passing. Oh my gosh. I have in there, don't proceed until all tests are passing. You just declared victory. Claude just said, hey, we're good. Most tests are passing. No, not okay. What the flip is your problem? Ridiculous, man. Most tests are passing. No, not okay. You're not done. You can't go home. Sorry, you don't get cookies. All the tests have to pass. Come back when you're done, Claude. That's your freaking job. Yeah, there's somebody that logged a bug with Anthropic about this exact issue, where it talks about, and I quote, Claude has become untenable. And I quote, Claude has become untenable for our team. Developers spend more time fixing Claude's mistakes than benefiting from its existence. Loss of trust in the tool's ability to maintain code quality, critical documentation becomes useless if not explicitly referenced. Danger, Will Robinson. That's okay. We're going to figure it out. Somehow, some way. Maybe Claude's not the answer. Maybe that's the issue. All right, let's see what we're doing. Okay, good. That all seems right. I mean, sure, that's great. Let's add it into your memory. If you're just going to ignore it, why am I spending time doing that? Okay. Let's go. Okay. We're on to the UI. Wonder how the get the places data is going to go. Like, how do we find a way to give the user some sort of indication that, hey, we're trying to fetch the data for you. We're trying to get as much as we can, and we need you to confirm it. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, looking up place information. Okay. Hey, you're doing good, Claude. I like it. This is good. I feel better. I feel better. Your willingness to follow architecture is a little lackluster at this moment, but you're doing okay on the front end. Maybe that's where you excel. Maybe that's the deal. All right, are we using React Hook forms? Yes. Okay. Should we use form state? Should we be using React Hook forms form state or anything else it has to make this simpler? Check their docs. Yeah, it's nice. React Hook Forms is nice because it's got some built-in state management. Yeah. Once again, you're absolutely right. All right, we're going to also add into your memory, Claude, while we're at it. Using React Hook Forms form state. Yeah, I know. All right, we didn't add tests on the front end. Gotta get a new laptop. Okay. I wonder how much faster this would be on a newer laptop. I bet it would make a difference. I bet it would make a sizable difference. Wait, hold on. Hold on. We have failing tests. We have lint errors. Fix those. I'm glad you're going to address the error systematically. How else would you do it? Just randomly changing characters? Come on, man. All right, so we need to update it to not only check for testing path. Geez. We need to update Claude's memory to not only check for passing tests, but also to run linting and prettier to make sure we're good. So we've got it to where we're starting to do the right things. So we need to update memory with when you're running tests at the end of each piece of work, also lint. We need to add tests. Hmm. It's an interesting edit. Approaching usage limit. Oh no. Oh no. Usage limit. What am I paying for? Resets at 9 p.m. All right, let me write. What do we got to do? We got to fix some stuff before it's like, hey, I can't help you. So, memory, lint with tests, build new tests. Hey, and if you got more things right, we wouldn't be running up on my usage limits here. Claude, you're freaking out. What's happening here? We'll check that in a minute. We'll let you finish your thing here. Any. No. No, I don't want to disable. I don't want to disable lint errors when there is a reasonable fix, like using a real type. It's not fine. Why are we doing this? Oh, okay. Okay. That all seems good. No, no, no. Damn, man. Like, I don't. What kind of like absolute shit show would this project be if I didn't catch Claude just doing dumb shit of just ignoring our architectural patterns that we've defined clearly inside of its memory? But it's still like, oh, I'm going to make a random component. Let me just copy stuff from this one and make it look like that one when we've told it always use shad CN components. Well, friends, that's the end of the stream. As you can see, Anthropic has said no more for you, even though it says with your Claude Pro subscription, no need to monitor cost. You're right. It's not going to cost me anything. I just can't use it anymore. So I guess the stream's over. Yeah, 9 p.m. my time. So I've got a 3-hour wait until I can address the rest of these issues. So yeah. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later, I guess.